Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of D&D. Let's basically recap what happened last time. Last where we left our adventurers, they were searching for Volo's friend Floon, and they managed to find the hideout of the Zentarim, or as people more locally call them, the Zents, and only to find that all the Zents there were brutally murdered by, no doubt, the Xanathar Guild. And you guys dispatched most of the killers, which was mostly Kenku. I think all of them were Kenku now that I think about it. It's been a while. You spared 2 of them because they begged for mercy, and when you weren't looking, they snuck away. So you were looting the area, and you may have found loot that you might have not have supposed to have been able to find, but I gave it to you anyway since I was already talking. So yeah, you have a bunch of money worth of silver bars. I'm not sure who's carrying it, but I'll let you guys figure.
I put it in the party loot on the notes.
Yeah, we'll assume the stronger ones are carrying all those silver bars.
Fair enough.
We had Bone Carver search up the offices, and in there he found a lot of snacks. Except for one that narrowly avoided him and somehow did incredible feats of acrobatics out of the building and is gone. Will that be the last we see of this rat? We're not sure. Let's play and find out. So we left off with you guys looking out the window, and as you're looking out, you start hearing a very familiar noise. It's the clicking and shaking of metal on the floor, and upon observing outside, you notice that there is a very large amount of city guard approaching this very building. Let's see. You left Raenar downstairs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Dare is still downstairs as well.
Okay. Dare, you have no idea what's happening. You do hear a click-clacking, but you're not entirely sure what it is.
Okay.
You do, however, notice... Well, just let this guy represent all the guards, because it's going to be a nightmare to just move them all. You notice the larger gates, the cargo gates opening up, and all these guards just come flooding in. You don't even have enough time to actually hide. So, the doors come crashing open, and you see all these guards just flood in. A lot of them brandishing swords, a few of them crossbows. You see one who is obviously higher rank than all of them. You notice that his armor is a little bit more decorated, and you do see the emblem of the City Watch on his shoulder. The first thing you hear is him just shouting, "Secure the area!" They kind of pause when they just see all the bodies, and then they notice you, Dare, and first thing the lead guard does is he just takes out an emblem, and he says, "Halt, City Watch!" And he starts
I've halted.
approaching. Okay. What are you guys upstairs doing?
We saw them coming.
Yeah, we saw them coming,
We saw
right?
them. Yeah. Is there
Yeah,
a way
you
for
guys
me
saw
to
it coming.
sneak behind these crates and look down?
You can
at
roll
the
a
whole
stealth
thing?
check.
Okay. Where did I find? Going to be great.
You are
I am invisible.
a shadow in the night. You are only rumored to be mentioned in legends of the famous lizard folk who could go invisible at will. Though no one remembers it because you're just that stealthy.
So I'm just keeping an eye on the bone carver. Just think of it as the thiefling. So making sure that nothing bad happens
Okay,
to
what about everyone else?
I will also sneak around and sort of peer over the edge, I suppose.
Okay, go ahead and roll stealth as well. Okay, you believe that you are certainly stealthy. It's not really hard for you given your size. You can hide
Yes.
behind most of the crates.
Okay, so John will try to hide somewhere as well.
You will still have to make a stealth check,
Of course,
though.
of
'Cause
course. There we go. What is this?
So as you're walking up, you stumble and a bunch of boxes just kind of topple over. Fortunately for the rest of your party, they do not get noticed because you're not close to them at the time. But you do see a bunch of guards just like rush up to you. They don't seem immediately hostile. They're just like, easy there. We don't want any funny business. Let's go back to Dare.
Okay.
Going downstairs, you do notice that, like, this guard captain is very uptight, you would say. Though all of the guards under his command at the moment do seem to be performing very diligently, and none of them appear to be, what's the word for it, relaxed. They're all very on task, a little bit stiff for, in your opinion, but you feel like maybe they're not, the wrong type of guards. You do get the sensation that bribing them will not go well, though.
Oh.
In that case, Dare is probably going to speak to the guard captain. Good evening, sir. We've just passing by this area and just stumbled into quite a commotion. It looks like you've seen the same thing. Did you come to investigate?
Roll persuasion at disadvantage. Okay, 10. He doesn't believe you. Look, I'm not sure what's going on here. We were looking into the commotion that was reported, and he pauses once he sees Raenar walk to your side. Raenar is kind of standing next to you. He walks up and he says, "Shit, what time of day is it? I think it's the evening, isn't it? Let's say it's the evening."
It's evening now.
It is the evening now. You suddenly notice the sky go dark. Raenar says, "Evening, Staggett." And you see the guard captain kind of just like tense up a little bit. Staggett, as you have now heard the captain's at least probably surname. He says, "My lord, I didn't expect to see you here." "That goes for both of us," says Raenar. Actually, if it weren't for my friend here and her party," he pats you on the shoulder. Raenar pats Dare on the shoulder. "I'd probably still be in trouble. I was taken in by the Zents and Xanathar's men, or birds in this case, came in. They saved me, and actually they're helping me find someone else." And you hear Captain Staggett kind of tilt his head. You can't really see much of his facial features because his helmet is covering most of it. But you do see him tilt his head and say, "Someone else?" If any of you want to chime in on the conversation, feel free to.
Well, since they noticed me anyway.
A bit.
Yeah, you can also kind of hear the conversation happening downstairs.
Yes, that's absolutely true. We saved him, and from these giant penguins that were here.
You see, we were just doing our civic duty. Just model citizens.
You can't see this, but you have the feeling that Staggett is like narrowing his eyes in a tiny bit of confusion behind the helmet.
You can still see their corpses lying around.
Penguins. You mean the Kenku?
Yes, death penguins.
He just nods. You're not sure with what emotions behind it, but he nods. "And why were you here? Or who are you looking for?"
Well, we are trying to hear the name to find Floon, right?
Yeah.
Well remembered.
Yes, so we are trying to find Floon. Some guy named Volo asked us to do this.
Volo. Yes. So he's a friend of Volo. Well, this isn't something I can get involved in. And I can't have my men scouring the sewers again looking for another Xanathar hideout.
Well, we were pretty much planning on doing that.
Well, I can't stop you, and you are looking for someone missing. But I would give you a bit of advice. You see him take out a folded piece of paper. Just keep these things in mind. Try not to meddle too much in criminal matters. Just leave the dirty business to the City Watch. Not all City Watch are willing to overlook this. He kind of gestures at all the bodies. And
We didn't kill all of them.
John, stop
fair
digging.
enough. Just make sure to keep the blood off the streets, okay? And then he gives Dare a sheet of paper. This is, let's see, I'm going to show this handout to everyone. This is known as the Code Legal, and it's basically a pamphlet of possible punishments for certain crimes, and it goes into a little detail as to what the crimes may be. So you guys can read that in your spare time. But
Well,
it,
you cannot
it is
even
something
use
to keep in
magic
mind.
to influence the Lord. Huh. So uptight.
Yes, they're very strict about their laws here. You do have a feeling that fighting even one of these guards will put you in for a bad time.
Why do they have a clause about poisoning the city well? I mean, that's kind of obvious.
Maybe because it's happened before.
Yeah, with rules. If there's a rule about something, it's probably there for a reason.
Yep. John.
Yes?
John, you do notice that the guard is kind of leaving you alone for the most part now. He's kind of keeping an eye on you, but he's mostly returning down to investigating the bodies. They're kind of looting them, not necessarily for equipment, but more for evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly they're leaving them alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So John will come down to there and ask, what does that say?
Well,
You don't have to read all of it, but...
as long as you don't move, breathe, or touch anything, we'll be fine.
That doesn't sound very reassuring.
It's not meant to be.
So Staggett chimes in, I'm willing to overlook the situation given that Raenar can vouch for you. I assume you have the best intentions in mind, and anything you might have encountered probably had it coming. That'll save us some form of paperwork. It'll give us a different kind, and he kind of kicks or lightly taps one of the bodies with his foot. Anyway, off you go.
I stand at the top of the stairs because I kind of figured there's no danger, but I don't want to come rushing in, catch them by surprise. So I'm just keeping some distance at least. When I do mention towards the captain that there were two Genku that got away.
You can see him like sigh in his armor. We'll be on the lookout for them.
It shouldn't be very hard to miss some giant penguins walking around.
Is
You
John
say that.
Is John within slapping distance?
Well, he's.
I'm
Are you
near
next
there
to
now.
Dare?
Wait. I'm near there now, so hang on, let me move.
Yeah. I'll move
Don't
him. I'll
expect
move
me
him.
to save you.
Okay, so can I throw like one of the bones that got stuck between my teeth and just throw it at his head? Because there's bound to be some bones there.
Roll a dexterity check.
Dexterity, okay. That's flat out dexterity.
Ouch.
What's your AC?
14, so that hits.
This bone just kind of crashes into you. I'm not sure how big it is, but you
It's
feel
a rat's
it crash
bone.
into you.
Ow! Why did you do that?
Every time you open your mouth, bad things happen.
Well, the reason it's complicated is because we can't just arrest any Kenku we see down the streets, or we have a hate crime in our hands. We do like to treat our people fairly, believe it or not. Anyway, off you go. Don't you have someone to save?
Yes, that's true, we do actually. Come on,
Okay.
Bone Carver, no playing around, no throwing bones anymore at me.
You see him just narrowing his eyes for a second, and you see his eyes just drift towards one of the bodies, and then he just shakes his head and walks along. What that
Okay.
means, who knew?
So let's go back to the map. Now, your group has learned a few things. That Floon is indeed, or used to be held at least, by the Zents, but now he is held by the Xanathar Guild. And they probably assumed that he was mistaken for Raenar. What you know is that you need to look for the Xanathar hideout, or a Xanathar Guild hideout. So this is where we start our investigation. So you have several options of approaching this. You can ask around people, and if any of them seem a bit reluctant to give information, you can use a bit of coin to bribe them. If you feel that you're kind of short on coin, you can find someone to sell the loot you just found. Alternatively, one of you can just try and roll an investigation check to see if you find anything.
Well, we know it's in the sewers because he said
Yes.
the hideouts are
however,
in the sewers.
Yes, however, which sewers is the bigger question.
I'm pretty sure the
'Cause
sewers
this is
are
a big
quite a
city.
big thing.
So I think it's not really in John's nature to give people coin just to talk, but he might offer ales or something, if that works.
Yeah.
Oh no, Baumgarten would be totally fine with it. But that's actual talking he has to do. He can just
So
pay
it's
people.
kind of up to you guys. Do you guys want to bribe your way to the information, do an investigation check, or try to see if you can persuade some people?
Well, my investigation is really poor, so
I could try and persuade people.
My
Oh.
investigation's not too bad.
Can I try to persuade some people by using ale? Basically, buying a few
It will
rounds.
it'll take a lot of bribes between several individuals, and it'll total out to a bit of gold. I think you guys can pay that much gold.
Should we find somewhere to
Um,
sell this stuff?
That's also an idea. You can probably find a jeweler or a smith to sell those gold bars. Not gold,
There's
silver
bars
you
and
found.
some paintings.
Yes. What would your party like to do?
well, I think we could just share the burden. Like one or two people go sell stuff because carrying that around on your own is probably a bad idea. And one going for investigation and one going for persuasion.
Okay, you could try to give the other advantage if you like, if you want to go,
Yeah, maybe
if
we
you
can.
want to favor one stat over the other.
Can I give the persuasion advantage then, if that works?
Sure.
So who's doing the actual persuading?
Let's jump to selling the gold bars first.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So it's 15 10-pound silver trade bars. They are black from corrosion, but still worth 50 gold pieces each. You find a local smith who can probably melt these down into nicer silver, and he pays you 15 gold pieces each for 15. So 50 times 15.
750?
Yes.
Wow.
That's a lot of gold. We
guys
really weren't meant to find that word.
Yeah, you weren't. Like I was just reading the loot tables, and then at the end, and then I realized, oh wait, this is for a secret room they never found. Okay, well I guess they have it anyway now.
Well, technically, we could
I'd
have
be
found
quite
it,
happy
so-
to split it between everyone.
You bet.
So yeah, you have 750 gold
Wow.
added to, let's say, the party loot, unless you guys want to split it between everyone.
Well, let's first use it for bribes and then split the rest. Is maybe the fair.
Seems fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll persuasion, and if anyone's gonna assist that, go ahead to see if we can get the cost of the bribes lowered.
I think I'm.
Persuasion.
Okay.
I've got quite a decent persuasion.
I would take persuasion. I've got
And
a
if-
+2 persuasion.
There you go.
Oh, never mind.
Okay,
never
never mind.
mind.
The
Remove
halfling's
2
working
gold
his
from your
charm.
inventory.
2 gold. 2.
2 gold, and that's all you needed to spend on bribes.
Okay.
Okay, so you were able to pick up several things. Given the descriptions and pointing out specifically the Xanathar Guild members, you were able to, with a combination of a few well-placed drinks and a few well-placed compliments, you were able to find the direction where they were going to, and you were able to pinpoint exactly which entrance to the sewers they went to. I'm not going to point it out on the map just because the module doesn't say where. Let's just say you find it.
Okay.
You didn't even have to roll investigation. You're fine. Okay, so now, and also be sure to remove the silver bars from your inventory. We'll deal with the paintings later.
Yeah.
Because now I just realized, oh, you have even more gold because of those paintings.
Oh, yes. So 2 gold got deducted, right? So that leaves us with 748 gold.
Okay. How many members of the party have dark vision?
Oh,
I don't.
think.
I do.
I know Dare has dark vision because she's a tiefling.
I do not, but I do have the light spell, and if we're going to dark places where I'm not necessarily going for stealth, and that is what I'll use.
Yes, it is pitch black here.
So we're in the sewers now, right?
Yes, and this is the description. A putrid stream flows along the sewer tunnel, which leads in 2 directions. In one direction, you see a tiny symbol drawn on the wall in yellow chalk, a palm-sized circle with 10 equidistant spokes radiating out from its circumference.
Okay, I think I have a spell to make lights. Would that be useful?
Which one?
Dancing lights.
Yes, that helps.
Yes, it's valid. What Burncarve will do is just grab one of his javelins, cast light on it. So I now am holding this grey glowing javelin, which basically
Okay.
acts as a torch.
Okay, so you guys are pretty good in the light department.
And I can throw it.
That is true. Mobile light.
Easy dispatch.
Yeah, okay. I will cast this spell so we can all see.
We'll have plenty of light.
Okay, so I need all of you to make... what kind of check would this be? History? Make a history check.
Oh dear.
Dare, do it at advantage.
Oh, okay, hang on.
Since you rolled a history check, or a nat 20 on a history check earlier in the campaign relating to gangs.
I know nothing.
Okay.
Why do I have the highest history?
So, surprisingly, John knows this. He's heard stories about it.
Oh, and stories I can tell about this.
You know that the yellow chalk sign with the equidistant spokes is a representation of Xanathar, the Beholder, and this is also the symbol the Xanathar Guild uses to signal paths. You've never seen one in person though, but it seems to fit the descriptions you've heard.
Mm-hmm.
So with that knowledge in mind, what do you say to the party relating to the investigation?
I will relay that it's the sign of Xanathar, but I will refer to Xanathar as a squid. Because it's obviously
party.
a squid.
What do you do with this information?
Sigh.
Look slightly confused.
Okay, so which direction do you go?
What are our options?
One end of the tunnel, which leads into darkness, and the other end, but this end has the symbol with the Xanathar symbol on it.
I say we follow the symbol.
That's where we're going. Makes
Okay.
sense.
Okay.
Unless
so you
anyone
go-
really wants to just wander around in the sewers.
Your feet are like 1 foot deep in
Sewage.
sewage,
Great.
and it's pretty awful.
Mm.
Probably more so for the halfling.
Oh.
Yeah, I really wouldn't be too bothered because first off, I'm way up high, and second off, I was literally raised in the swamp.
I pick up the halfling and put it on my shoulders.
Okay.
Thank you.
Merrick, you don't worry. He let's assume he did it before you actually put your feet in the shit.
Yeah. Okay, let's get this over with as soon as possible. I hear there are giant crocodiles around here. Killed one myself once.
In a sewer?
Obviously.
Yes. It just happened. I just happened to fall in one.
At sea.
Now that's something I can believe. The falling in part.
The giant crocodile part was way more interesting. Look, it left a mark on my arm.
For
Here.
you. Watch it, you're almost toppling the halfling.
As your party continues, you find a few more forks in your path, but you continue on knowing that you're following the actual symbols, and whenever there is a fork or an intersection, you just follow the symbol, and it appears to stay true. The darkness kind of makes you feel a tiny bit claustrophobic. The smell kind of makes you want to vomit. You manage to hold it in, though. It kind of gives you a newfound appreciation for the dung sweepers of the city. And you feel like that maybe they should be paid better for doing this.
If my character was actually cared of, I would definitely start an awareness group once we're back up. But that's not Bungava.
After an hour of following signs through the tunnels, you come to a three-way intersection where a ladder leads up into a stone shaft capped by a circular metal cover, and one of the some familiar chalk symbols is marked on a wall nearby, and you see something else. It's about the size of a grapefruit, and you see it bouncing around in the air, and you notice that it hasn't quite gotten a look at you. It's not really facing the way of all the light you're emitting, but you can kind of hear it. You hear it humming to itself, just a little song. Someone roll me a perception check. Anyone who wants to look closer at it, roll perception.
Oh, my character definitely want to look. Misplaced perception again.
Oh, wow.
Also, I kill my light.
Okay.
Wait, what?
With those rolls, I'll say... So, Amy, what you notice is that there's these little sort of stubby tendrils coming from its head. And Bone Carver, what you notice is the tendrils. But on top of that, you notice that they kind of appear to be blinking. Maybe there's like some membrane over them. You notice that this thing has a rather large mouth and one very large singular eye. Keep in mind that this thing is only about the size of a grapefruit. So you're pretty sure it's not a beholder, but maybe something along those lines.
I just whispered to them, baby beholder thing.
A baby
And
squid
anyone who-
in the sewers?
John, do you say this out loud or whispered?
I will whisper.
Okay.
I'd hear it.
So, what do you guys do?
So, do we eat it?
And that, you just see Bone Carver just perk up.
Nobody's eating it. It lives in the sewer. Is that
Bone
not
Carver
good
just
enough reason?
Looks at you like, so what?
I've eaten
Can we
all kinds
keep
of
it?
seafood.
What, like a pet?
Yes.
I don't
If
think
you can
squid
catch
makes
it.
pets.
Are we going to attack it? Or talk to it? We need to act soon.
Well, can you see the thing, Bone Carver? Because I can't see. Well, I wanted to say shit, but that I can at least smell.
Attack or talk. Decide.
Let's talk to it.
Well, I can't hit it anyway in the dark.
I'll let the three of them go ahead and I will melt back into the
Okay,
darkness.
roll a stealth check.
It has to go wrong one of these days. No, not today. It's not this day.
Or not.
You're certain that you're pretty stealthy. Okay, so who walks up to it first?
Dare does.
Okay.
I don't have a
Once
choice.
it notices once it notices your footsteps, what first faces you are the little stalks, and you notice that they are indeed eyes, and then the thing immediately does a 180 towards you, and then it bares its teeth and it just kind of growls at you, and it kind of sounds like a chihuahua barking.
Aw.
Now I really want to get it.
Dare reaches out a hand and goes, "Here, little squid thing." It might be friendly.
Roll animal handling.
Oh.
Okay.
I already thought it was generous.
Okay, this is what happens. You see one of its eyes glow a bright blue color, one of the eyes on its head, and it shoots towards you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh
Okay,
dear.
Nope.
so let's see. So regardless, you take 10 points of cold damage.
Ouch.
I need everyone to roll initiative.
Fair enough.
Alright. Oh my god.
Well, that's bad.
You can see because of my big glowy orbs.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true, we had 2 lights.
And this is what you're fighting.
Ooh, that's one ugly squid.
By the way, did we have a rest in between?
You had a short rest.
We did. That means I have no healing skills.
Okay, we'll figure something out in a little bit.
We'd obviously been
there
to a
is a
bar
spot.
because that's where we bribed someone to give us the information.
Yeah.
We were going to bars enough to regain spell slots, unfortunately.
Let's assume your investigation led you to take a long rest.
That'd be very great.
Because you're gonna need it.
I think especially there would very much appreciate that.
So, first up on the order, Merrick, you're up.
It's going to have a fireball. It attacked us, it gets burned.
That is actually not enough to hit it. It narrowly
Great.
evades the fireball.
We can see better now, though.
For
Yeah.
a brief instance.
Yep, everyone's pretty sure they saw the thing now. Okay, it is the creature's turn. It will aim at John,
Oh dear.
and let's see. And so one eye will point at John, and one eye will point at Merrick, because you just shot a firebolt at him.
I am also sat on John's shoulder, probably still.
Oh yeah, that's true. Wait,
That
hang on,
is
hang on.
true. This is gonna look interesting.
Just ride your human into battle.
Okay, so John, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Well, wisdom saving throw coming up.
Okay,
Wow!
so you suddenly feel this like crippling terror creep up you, but you feel it subside immediately as soon as it appears. You're fine.
I am scared of no squid.
Okay, Merrick, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, great.
It's actually not bad.
That'll do it. That's you suddenly feel this force come up on you, trying to pull you off of John, but you manage to grab on, and you are fine.
A lot of screaming, I assume, though.
Dare, you're up.
Has it already hit me before we started?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
Yeah,
I think
you
it
start-
might have done more damage than I have health points.
Huh.
Well, you have had a
Like-
short rest.
How
Yeah,
many?
how long
What's your amount of hit points?
9.
Yeah, you're down.
Total? You're down. Okay, Dare's down. Dare, I need you to roll a death saving throw for me. Okay, that's a success. You're not closer to... I mean, you're dying, but you're not closer to death. If you succeed on 3 death saves, you stabilize. Okay, next up. Bone Carver. Your friend was just taken down by a ray of frost.
Well, friend's a big word, but
Thanks.
Bone Carver is seriously
Wow.
pissed that someone under his ward is damaged. How far away is he?
Around 70-ish feet.
How far away is he from
I'd
there?
say around 40.
So if I throw the bone javelin at Squid now, it's advantage because I'm doing it from stealth,
Yes.
right? Then I'll do that
Okay,
first.
go ahead and roll your attack.
That will hit, I
Okay,
think.
roll damage.
Ah,
You scratch one of its eye stalks.
Okay, then I walk 30 feet in its direction. And I cast Spare the Dying on
Okay.
there.
Dare, you no longer need to make death saving throws, but you do need healing to get back up.
Okay.
So I walk forward and I just wave at there, and these grey butterflies just fly away from where the wound was. And that ends my turn.
Okay, John, you're up.
can I get
You
in
got
melee
halfling
range?
on your shoulders. Yes, you are taking Merrick with you, though. Just keep that
Yeah,
in mind.
that's fine. I am going to do the only thing that makes sense. I'm going to stand away 5 feet, and I'm going to throw my net because it's a squid, and I'm catching it.
Okay.
Let's see.
Um,
I'm trying to see if I can do it like this. Does that work? Does an 11 hit?
An 11 does not hit. It
Ah.
catches the net with its mouth. It narrowly misses, but it does not hit. It catches the net with his mouth and starts biting on it. The ropes don't look so good.
Oh dear.
Merrick, you're up.
It needs more fire.
I'll say that given your altitude, you don't roll at disadvantage.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure how far away John
Well,
is from the
I'm
gazer.
I'm basically 1 square away, so there's 1 square between them. Between me.
Okay, then you
because-
should be
yeah.
fine.
So we're pretty close.
But it's not enough to impose disadvantage. If
So I
you
still
try
can't
to-
hit it.
Well, you're on the back and swapping and swaying, so... Bobbing and swaying.
Okay. So, Merrick, I need you to make a wisdom save, and John, I need you to make a dex save.
Oh, okay.
Huh. Okay. Merrick, you see this purple beam strike you across the face, and you feel your body trembling, and at first it feels very unnatural to you, but then it kind of consumes you too much for it to matter. and you are feared. So what this means is that as long as this creature is in your line of sight, you have disadvantage on attack rolls, and you cannot move closer to it. Granted, your movement is not your own, so I don't think that's an issue.
I just slide
But you
slightly
will be-
further down his back so I can't.
Stop pulling my beard! Stop pulling my beard!
And let's see. I need...
And my dex save failed as well.
John, you take 7 points of cold damage as a beam of frost shoots at you and hits you point blank on the chest.
Oh, that works.
Level 1. Level 1.
Yeah, well, I have 15 hit points, so that's not that bad.
Okay, at least there's that. As a bonus action, the creature will move up to John.
Oh.
And it'll end its turn. Dare, you're stabilized, but there's not much you can do while unconscious. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Bone Carver, you're up.
Yes. I walk over to Dare and I cast Cure Wounds, which, because she is down and out, doesn't heal for 7, but for 11 points of
You're at
health.
full health, Dare.
Yay! My
And then
hero.
I move into base contact with the gazer.
Okay. And will that be your turn?
I think so. I mean, I can. That's literally all I can do. So
I have had it with this squid. I am raging.
Okay. You go into a frenzy.
And I will say, just let go of my net, and I will just grab the thing, the squid, and I will just try to pull the net out of its mouth, and I'll just grapple it. Or try to, at least.
Okay. Roll athletics at advantage,
Yeah,
because you're raging.
exactly.
oh,
And
What do I get?
the creature will try to escape. Okay, so you have the creature.
Awesome!
Like, he is squirming violently. It's threatening to, like, maybe bite you, but you feel like you have a good hold on it.
And now give me my net back, you little bugger! That will be my turn, though.
Okay, Merrick, you're up.
If I use magic this close, will I be in risk of hitting John if he's
Depends on
grappling
the
it?
spell. If it's Firebolt, it's not gonna hit John. In fact, you actually will have, let me check. You will have advantage on this since John is holding on to him.
Okay.
If you use Firebolt. It depends
It's my
on the
most
spell,
powerful spell, I think.
though. Okay.
So,
Okay, that's gonna hit. Roll for damage.
yay!
finally.
Okay, your firebolt flies off and it hits him right in the eye, and you hear the flesh searing and bubbling, and the creature just screeches loudly. It kind of rings your ears. It looks pretty rough. You feel like another attack like that will be the end of it. That being said, it looks at you very pissed. I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, Merrick.
Oh, sorry, I left it on
Oof.
advantage. Do you want me to re-roll?
That's... no, we'll just take the first one, which is a critical miss.
Hang on. Halfling lucky.
Oh.
Ah, nice. Well,
Yeah, it's a saving throw.
yeah, definitely.
Well, let's just use the 16 because that saves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that works.
You feel the force come upon you again, and you're fine.
May the force be with you.
It's going to look at Bone Carver and shoot another ray. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, Bone Carver.
What did I do?
Like-
I did a lot.
Well, the thing is, like, it didn't believe the stories of crocodiles in the sewers, but then you showed up, and you have blown its mind.
Oh no! I finally rolled really low.
Okay, so you see this white beam come out and shoot you on the chest. Your head feels just kind of loopy. You're seeing 2, 3 gazers. You're not sure which is the real one, and you didn't know when you had so many party members. You also feel like you're more sluggish. So what this means is your speed is halved, and you have disadvantage on attack rolls. Okay, who's next?
Dare.
Dare. You're back at full health.
Yes. Is there room for me to get up close and stab it, or is there risk of me hitting someone else?
There's room.
Okay.
What you can also do is flank it.
In that case, I'm going to stab it with my sword.
Okay,
Did you
go
say
ahead and
this
roll
is at
the attack.
advantage?
Yes. That'll hit. Go ahead and roll also for sneak attack damage.
Oh, it's
Oh
dead.
yeah.
Let's roll a sneak attack anyway to see how much overkill it is.
Yes.
Okay, so how do you want to kill it?
I'm kind of behind it, aren't I?
Not really, because you're kind of facing it because John is holding onto it. He has it grappled. So he
Okay.
probably like faced it at you and you stabbed it.
And it's only the size of a grapefruit. So it's not very big.
That's true. I think it's got to be a sword right through that big eye in the middle.
Okay. You position the sword in a way that doesn't also impale John in
Yes,
the
that's
process.
it.
And you just
That's
kind of shish
appreciated.
kebab the creature. It kind of like flies off of his arms, and you now have yet another creature shish kebabbed by your rapier. And it just falls limp.
So, what do we do with it?
I walk over to it and
I
I,
don't
just
think-
rip off its eye stalks and put it in my bag. Except one. One I
Very
just
welcome to have it.
John, you
one
must
I
have
just
eaten
put
squid
in
at
my
sea.
mouth.
I have eaten squid, although no sewer squid. So I'm I'm not really sure about eating this. I've eaten fish before, seafood before that eats dirty things. So
It
might
has
be
been
edible.
flying. It doesn't taste like what we're walking with.
I mean, is anyone really hungry down here?
I must say
I'm always hungry.
I'd rather go for dinner at a tavern.
But this is free.
That's
Is
true.
any parts of it useful?
Roll a nature check.
Well, the most tasty thing would be the tentacles in
Actually,
the body.
sorry,
No.
not nature, arcana.
Arcana.
You've never heard of gazer parts ever being used in potions, unfortunately. You just know that they're somewhat related to beholders in some way, shape, or form.
Well, they look like little beholders.
That they do. You know it is not a beholder. This is indeed something known as a gazer, but their origins are unknown to you.
Okay.
Okay, so we're out of initiative. We have a ladder heading up and a door heading somewhere with the guild emblem on it. How's everyone looking?
John is injured. Yeah,
Oh.
actually. I still have 8 hit points left though, so
Can I use my medicine skill for that?
Medicine is more for stabilizing people, not so much for actually healing. I'd
Okay.
say try it anyway, and if you get a high enough roll, we can restore something.
Me.
yeah.
I rolled a
That's
13.
probably not.
Yeah, that's not gonna be
Nah.
enough.
No. I just look at it and just like, walk it off.
I can handle it. It's just a bit of cold. I've had frostbite before. Was way worse.
Where never mind.
Okay, so party, we have a decision to make. You have a ladder and a door.
Well, we haven't come all this way to walk away from the interesting-looking door.
Is the marking on the
It'd be
door
worth-
or near the
The
ladder?
marking's on the door. Definitely the door.
Would the ladder go back up to street level?
You're not sure.
Just wondering if it'd be worth looking to see where we are.
That is up to your party.
Whatever
Decide.
whatever we are doing, can we please get out of the poop?
I second that.
You are in quite a bit of poop.
So we take the door then.
Okay.
We should at least have a look through it very carefully.
That sounds wise.
Who are we sending up the ladder then?
I'll stick my head up through the ladder.
Can you do
I
it
probably should have
stealthily?
mentioned this earlier, but Raenar is there with you.
Oh,
Oh,
wading through the poop.
Oh, where did he come from?
huh.
He's always been there. He's just been very quiet, and or your DM forgot.
Just,
Well,
just
I mean,
sca-
I
scared
can
of the
imagine
mini
him-
beholder.
Well, I can imagine him being completely speechless because of the sewage and all.
Pretty much.
Do commoners live like this?
Okay, so Raenar volunteers to go up the ladder first to check on it.
Okay.
He goes up. You guys wait 2 minutes, 5 minutes,
No.
6 minutes.
I think that's the point where
Totals
we stop
out to-
waiting.
It totals out to 6 minutes, and then you see him come back down,
Okay.
and in his hands he has a flask of ale. And he says, "There's a tavern up there."
If anyone's watching,
least-
Bonecalf is just twitching. By the way, can I
like,
recall for
leave-
the javelin that I threw?
Sorry, what?
Can I recall for the javelin that I threw?
Yes.
Oh, and my
Awesome.
net, is
You
that
find
still kind of salvageable?
You'll have to get it repaired.
Oh. Means I only have one net.
So yeah, Raenar informs you that it leads to the cellar of a tavern.
Oh!
And if you're sneaky enough... Oh, what did you roll?
No, I didn't roll anything. I was just I've got this
Mending
spell.
the net?
Oh, yeah. It's fixed.
There you go.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
You have a bonding moment
That's
with Merrick.
It's for keeping me out the poop.
no problem, and thank you. I wish I could take you out on the high seas. That would be very useful.
It would be, wouldn't it? Okay, so Raenar informs you the ladder leads to a tavern called the Spouting Fish. It's a tavern in the dock ward, and if you're sneaky enough, you can just, like, avoid anyone noticing you coming out from the cellar and then go back in when you're done dealing with the tavern. Then he's like, you guys want some ale?
How is anyone not going to notice the fact that we are literally covered in shit?
He's like, it's the dock ward. Just tell them you're a dung sweeper. Okay, so with this information, what do you do next?
Well, I think we
I-
all need a drink.
I definitely could use a drink. And something stronger than
Okay.
ale. Something stronger than ale.
You all take a short rest
A rest would be good.
Yeah.
in the tavern.
And I'm going to roll my hit die just to recover some hit points.
Okay, so you all recover, have a nice drink, maybe a snack or two.
Ice
If
dogs.
you're gonna be drinking, reduce, if you can, either 10 copper pieces or 1 silver.
Yeah.
Total.
Will do. I am most definitely
That's just for everyone.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Okay, how do I do that?
Well, if one does it, it just counts for everyone. So
Alright.
one can take the bill, or all of you can just divide that. I recommend just removing 1 silver piece. Okay, so you feel a little bit more refreshed. So you go back down to the shit,
Yes.
and I will take you guys to a new map. I'm just gonna make sure everyone is here.
So,
Okay.
during that short rest, do we actually sit in the tavern?
Yes,
Hmm.
you do.
Do they-
If you want to RP anything, go ahead.
Do they have like an open fire I can use?
A what?
A fire.
Yeah.
Okay, then I roast the ice dogs.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not a barbarian. I don't just stuff raw food in my mouth all the time.
Hey.
any
Barbarians don't do
spices
that
for that?
either.
I will ask the barkeeper if I can borrow some spices.
Okay, they give you one, easy enough.
What do the rest
roll
of the patrons think of this in the bar?
They think he's roasting sausages.
Well,
it looks
okay.
like sausages,
so-
really.
So John's approaching him. Are you roasting the squid? Can I have a bite?
Yes. Yes.
I like squid well enough.
Roll. Roll a nature check to see how well it's cooked.
Hey. Should I roll it?
Nature or survival, whichever is better.
Nature or survival? Let's see. Well, I'll do survival. Oh my word.
Okay, so John, what you taste? Because here's the thing: I don't think Bone Carver would care about the texture,
No.
but you feel it is very undercooked for eye stalks. It kinda tastes like squid with no seasoning on it. This very slimy and viscous thing, and it kind of clings to your throat a bit. Given that it was also in the sewers, you kind of get like this faint aftertaste of like urine and feces.
Hey, it was a flying creature. It is not in the poop.
It wasn't in it, but it was near the like air of
good.
it, and it like after being there for a while, and you assume that this thing was like a type of guard dog. After being like a guard dog regularly, it just kind of infuses into the meat. You're not having a good time.
Bone carver. Bone carver. This stuff is absolutely disgusting.
Well,
I
more
just
for
I
me.
just spit it out. I spit it out.
I
Alright.
eat the rest.
Sewer squid does not taste good.
I'm sorry, I need to. Will that be all you do in the tavern?
Yes.
I will
Don't
wash
worry.
it down with something strong.
You take a few gulps of something very sweet,
Yeah.
something that has a bit of a kick to it. Not enough to like get you drunk, but you're a bit buzzed, and the memory of that foul concoction is sort of gone. You feel like it'll come back in the most inopportune time, but for now, it's gone.
So we're still in the bar, or have we gone back down to the sewer?
That's up to your party. So, like, if there's any last minute things you want to do before we venture further.
Alright.
This is like that when in Dragon Age when you're leaving the camp. Gather your party and venture forth.
Ready.
Ready.
Okay, let's do this. So, I'm gonna drag you guys over here.
Aw, take Bone Carve out of the shit, please.
That would be nice.
I can carry Merrick again.
Hey!
Okay, I'm just gonna put the token there. Okay, and there's a door before you guys.
Means I can carry my ale with me as we carry on.
So yeah, do you move in?
I think we should.
Yeah.
I think
so?
we should take a peek first.
Yeah, I have a premonition there might be arrow slits.
How very specific.
Yeah, you do notice the arrow slits. These are like small little windows. Actually, roll a perception check.
All of us?
Whoever wants to look at these arrow slits.
Oh wow. Back to
I
your
think
high
I see
rolls
them.
again.
Okay,
After poisoning you, that's fine.
Bone Carver, you notice movement behind these arrow slits. There's definitely something keeping guard. You feel as if it's best to... Actually, I'm gonna reveal a bit more of the area for you.
Is it dark inside or is it lit?
It's lit. Definitely lit.
Alright, so we are technically still on the left side of the door.
Yes, on your left is the door in, and the arrow slit is actually right here.
Okay.
But the door with the marking is immediately to your left.
Then
And you also notice another arrow slit right here.
I convey this information. First and foremost.
Okay, actually, you find something else. You notice a wall over here. The stone looks strange. It doesn't appear to be... The stone doesn't appear to be as worn down as the surrounding stone of the tunnel. In fact, it looks like you can move it.
So can I move over there and try to move it?
Yes, you can.
Very gently.
Okay, roll a stealth check for that.
Kind of saw that one coming. Oh, bugger.
The door creaks
Of course it does.
and scratches the floor on the way down, on the way across, I guess. And it reveals to you a room with another door. However, you do see another arrow slit there.
Ah. How high up are these arrow
Actually-
slits? From the ground. How high up from the ground are these arrow slits? Are they higher?
They're actually pretty short. They're pretty low to the ground.
So Maverick can't just like walk underneath them. Too bad.
No.
Hmm.
You have a feeling that, like, these slits are meant for shorter individuals.
Kind of like the killer penguins.
Yeah.
The killer penguins were actually a tiny bit taller than you, Merrick.
Aw.
How tall is Merrick again?
I can't remember. Not very tall.
Okay.
Short even for a half room.
Oh, then definitely taller than Merrick. So, party, where do you want to go?
Well, you discovered this bone carver. Where do you want to go?
I look around and I'm like, I'm not sure.
Well, if we have to go past the arrow slits, perhaps we should go past the single one instead of the pair.
Yes, that sounds wise.
Can we see anything behind this third arrow slit, the one on its own?
You'd have to peek into it to actually see.
Can I shimmy like against the wall and then peek through it?
Yes.
And I'll keep my shield like raised so that I peek over my shield. Just in case they shoot through me, then at least I have my shield between me.
So what you see is a goblin. You're pretty sure it's fallen asleep on the job. It is holding a crossbow, but it is definitely sleeping against the wall.
I relay this as best as I can without making a lot of noise. If I have to
Okay.
walk back to them to do it, that so be it.
Okay. You can do that with your stealth check. You can do that, or like with your current stealth check is enough to do that.
So, what do we do?
You said it was like one goblin.
That I could see, yes.
Do we take him?
We
We
haven't
have to
seen
reach
any
it
way
first.
to get to him.
Well, someone should
By the way,
open the door.
Hmm?
Yes.
no, I wanted to ask how common are goblins in Waterdeep?
They're common enough to have rights in Waterdeep. You see most of them in the dock ward, being like
Okay, so
helping out sailors for the most part.
fair enough.
You don't really see them in the more fancy parts of town.
Okay, but then John will
but-
definitely know them at least.
Yeah, they're common enough to not be attacked on sight in this town. It's kind of the same with kobolds, so long as they're not openly hostile.
Okay,
Okay,
That's clear.
kobolds.
these are the grovelly types, so
Even still, but
fair
I
enough.
like kobolds. So, Tiefling, could you open the next door while keep an eye on the goblin through the slit?
Let's have a go.
And I'll have a javelin ready.
Okay, Dare, now that you're entering this area, I will need you to make a stealth check.
Oh,
That's a 7.
So the door creaks open. Were you keeping an eye?
Yeah, if
Okay.
it wakes up, I'll throw a javelin at its face.
You see it snore, and when the creak happens, it kind of like starts blinking its eyes open. It's still half awake. And it kind of gets up and starts walking through the room, checking if it heard anything by the door.
Yeah, no, the moment it stands up, I think, ooh, is that wise? No, actually, I'll just gesture to Dare to lay flat against the wall so it can't see us.
Okay.
And I'll do the same.
You hear a creak of the door beyond. It starts walking.
Now I throw my javelin at it.
Well, I'd assumed you had the door only like half open, but okay. Make an attack.
Okay. This is gonna end poorly.
Actually, at advantage since you were hidden.
Look at that. Probably gonna need that.
Roll for damage.
Please hurt.
Okay, so you throw the javelin, and it goes through its shoulder enough to shove it into the wall behind. It is very surprised. It is very alarmed. And also very much in distress. It tries to reach for its crossbow. Does anyone react to this?
Can we
Well-
jump in and try and grab the crossbow?
You
Yeah,
can.
you can jump in and try to kill it. You can do anything, really.
Okay, I'm going to attack in these circumstances.
Okay, roll an attack.
ouch.
Let me check what the AC is.
I don't think there's a creature with an AC that low.
Yeah, it bats away
think they
your
are.
rapier. It bats away your rapier with its crossbow. Then it shoots at you.
Well, that means it's shooting in melee range, though.
Yeah. Does a 12 hit?
Is that with disadvantage?
Yeah, that's with disadvantage.
Badass roll.
I checked your AC and it does not hit you.
Okay.
So it just bounces on the floor underneath you. Either of you can do one action before we have to go into initiative.
Okay. I will move over to it, grab a hold of my javelin, and chomp down on its neck.
Okay, roll the attack.
Wow, I'm
That
not
does
gonna
not
chomp
hit.
down on its neck.
Okay, let's roll initiative.
But I do get back my javelin.
Does that include us as well?
Yes. This goblin is rolling really well. Except for that last
God,
attack, you know.
At least I have higher than last time.
I'll just place me over there. Just it's down, like next to it.
First up, Bone Carver.
Yeah, still a bit dazed that that first chomp has missed. Remembering a certain rat, I get really angry and I try and chomp it again.
Roll the attack.
Please.
Okay. That misses.
It's almost like a rat, like a rat, right? Goblin.
Let me think.
Seeing
Yeah,
that you tried to attack it, it's going to
going to
try and hit you with a scimitar.
Don't
No, wait. I'm going to use a bonus action,
Oh, okay.
which is my Hungry Jaws.
Oh,
It's a bonus attack. I can't I can do this. It's a summarized version of what it does. It's basically just a normal bite attack, except that if I hit, I gain temporary hit points. And it's a bonus attack, which is
okay.
amazing.
Go for it.
Please hit! No! Why? Why?
There's
You just want to eat
something-
it.
There's something up with your rolls today. Okay, so the goblin's gonna take its scimitar and try and attack you, Bone Carver, since
That is fair.
you've done a significant amount of damage to it, like prior to the fight starting.
Yeah.
18 to hit.
I have AC 18.
Okay, if it meets, it beats.
Yeah.
You take 4 points of slashing damage.
The nerve.
It will then try to pry itself off of the wall using half its movement and try to run away.
Which will invoke.
will?
Yeah.
Yes, this will trigger. I don't know if we talked about opportunity attacks in other sessions.
Don't goblins have like nimble escape or something?
Shh! I'm having the fight.
Okay. Sorry. Fair enough. I just thought you forgot. That's alright. I'm not saying anything.
No, it's in the character sheet. I'm making it easier for you guys because you got the shipping out of your last fight.
Okay.
Thank you. let's just say it was so stunned from being impaled that he got clumsy.
Or like almost being eaten thrice.
You know what?
You both get reaction attacks. Let's go.
Just 1 minute. Yeah, there. If you'd go first.
Okay.
So what's happening is that you can use it, like, since it's running away, it's kind of has its attention off of you, and so it's implied that, like, while it's turning around, that you can use this opportunity to attack it.
Okay.
So you can use an action called a reaction, which you get once per turn. Actually, once per round. That's more accurate. And you can use it to attack them, get a free attack on them.
Okay. Do I need to move up to it?
You don't need to move. It's implied
Okay.
that, like, you attack them while they were
Oh,
in
yeah.
range.
Okay.
Oh, dang it.
Whoa, what's that?
That's the attack I'm actually using, though.
I do not speak Elven.
It is, in fact, an attack I don't really use that often. It's my dagger.
I can see that.
I mean, you rolled a 17 on it, and that's enough to hit it.
It's...
Let's have Dare roll too, just to see, for flavor purposes, to see if her attack lands.
Okay.
Oh wow, crit.
Why does it happen
I
now?
know, right? I can't seem to roll damage, though. Let me see if I can do that
Okay.
again. Yeah, now I can roll damage. So I do 6 points of
Okay.
damage with my dagger.
Go ahead and roll damage. Dare, not like it matters, but I want to see it anyway.
It's just
Okay.
gonna get minced.
So, do you guys have any way you want to dispose of this one, or should I fill in the blanks?
Brutally.
Use the attack.
Like, for Bone Carver to actually use his dagger, he is seriously pissed.
So, what happens is... You know what? I'm going to describe this from Merrick's point of view. Merrick, you just hear in the distance a... And when Dare kind of shifts her body a little bit to see what's happening, you see that Bone Carver has shoved a dagger into his head, and she's skewered him through the chest, and so now they're like in this awkward position trying to remove their blades. But the thing is very much dead.
Wow, Bone Carver used a weapon.
And I will rip one of its ribs out of its body.
No. So John will step in at that point. Hold on.
You will not stop him. You will push him aside.
I will grapple Bone Carver if that's possible.
I will resist the grapple.
Okay, this is gonna be a contest then. John, roll athletics. Bone Carver, roll either athletics or acrobatics.
This is not stealthy, guys.
It very much isn't.
Oh no!
I just ripped one of his ribs out of his body. It's like But I'm not going to eat anything of it, something like that. Just grab the bone.
Okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to eat a
I need
goblin.
to read some notes.
It's already dead, Bone Carver. Stop it.
And I just look at it. I'm Bone Carver for a reason.
Okay. So, in the middle of this otherwise empty room is a stone pillar carved with a small symbol. A perfect circle with 10 equidistant spokes radiating outward from its circumference. In the middle of this circle is a smaller circular indentation that bears a passing resemblance to lidless eyes. Or to a lidless eye.
Can I search the room the goblin was in, by the way?
Yes, so, assuming you search let me show you the doors that you see immediately. And you also see these 2 larger doors. Assuming you check these rooms, you find what appear to be sleeping quarters, but there are rusty manacles chained to the walls as well.
Kinky sleeping quarters.
And on the goblins, you find... I need dice. Where are my dice? You find 4 copper pieces on the goblin.
Yay!
Well, that was
Whoever went looking for that can keep it.
But otherwise, you don't find much.
Okay.
You do notice that there is an indentation in the pillar, but as far as you know, you don't really see anything or know of anything that could fit it.
So
Can we invite Raenar into the room and ask him if he has any thoughts?
Well, while everyone's doing that, John just takes the goblin corpse with a very solemn look on his face, and then he just says, "Rest in peace," and he throws it into the sewage.
I wonder which one of us was more cruel.
I'm imagining Raenar just having my reactions right now. He just has his hands covering his face. Just kind of shaking his head going, what the fuck have I gotten myself into?
We're all asking ourselves the same.
Who hired these people?
Okay.
So is this another little square room beneath us?
Yeah. It was a secret entrance, a back door.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you have one more room that you haven't checked.
Okay.
And that's this one.
Oh, so we have checked the square ones.
Yes, they're
Okay.
just sleeping quarters, nothing of interest there, unless if you want the bed sheets.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought that long pause was like, right, are you gonna take the bed sheets?
Boka wouldn't know what to do with them.
Fair enough. You guys can move yourselves, by the way, in, according to this room, however you want.
So Baumgartner is sitting against the wall here, just looking at a column, catching a breath.
Okay.
John is still staring out of the sewage with a very solemn look on his face.
Okay.
Can I get my bone javelin back?
Yeah, you can pry it off the wall.
I'm no longer
Amazing.
riding around on John. I'm going to wander around on my own.
Fair enough. I kind of assumed you jumped off my back already.
We're not in the filth. The goblins are fine. I can manage.
But I just imagine that the stream of crab is just like 1 foot deep, right? And now there's just goblin corpse in the middle of it, and all this crap just flowing around it because it's no way strong enough to carry it along.
Well, goblins aren't that big, so...
And
guess
John
it
is
covers
just
the
staring
goblin.
at it. They're not that big, but that's not
Got
that
a
much force.
dignified burial there.
You didn't mention like any strong slopes, so it's not that big of a force.
Fair enough. On the other hand, it's very viscous, so it might drag it along anyway.
Well, perhaps it will just slowly like inch its way down the stream.
All right, that's taken care of. So, what do you guys have? What have you guys found?
This room looks empty. Did you say there was something on the pillar in the middle?
Yeah, it's an indentation. It's like maybe you could put something into it, but you're not sure. You wanted to ask Raenar about the slot?
Yes, if he has any thoughts on it, if he recognises any part of it.
You see him like focusing intently on it. Scratches his chin a little bit. And then he like raises his finger as if he has something. Then he says, I haven't the slightest fucking clue. Well, shall we get a move on then?
Yes. Someone should have a peer through the next door.
Bonecarver heaves himself off the floor.
You are the stealthiest.
Well,
Usually.
me and there.
Okay, so you want to approach the door stealthily?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay.
What could
The
possibly
map's
go wrong?
finally
Roll for
loaded.
Well, I could
Oh wow!
think
or you
of a
can
few
fail.
things that could possibly go wrong. I
Okay.
rolled a natural one.
So,
I'm dead.
this is what happens.
I blame the wound.
You trip. You shove the doors open. So, this is what you see. And what everyone else that kind of is within range sees. Threadbare curtains hang on the east wall of the long hall, in the middle of which a muscular half-orc in dingy robes stands with his foot on the chest of a male human with wavy red blonde hair.
Oh dear.
Fire burns around the orc's clenched fist, and his victim cries and squirms helplessly beneath him. Seated on a raised platform to the south is a nightmarish figure wearing black robes. It has large white eyes, rubbery purple skin, with 4 tentacles encircling its inhuman mouth. It cradles and gently caresses what looks to be a disembodied brain with feet.
Oh no.
I love that Karto already knows what this is.
I read the entire monster manual. I am not amused.
Okay. I need to see exactly how these creatures react to you.
Hi.
So, could you describe the
Looking
creature?
for some recruits?
So the so the creature on the throne. What did he look like exactly again?
Mind Flayer.
Oh.
Let me see if I can give you a handout of what this creature looks like.
A handout of what
The
will kill
handout
us?
will load.
Is this a good moment to take a break though? Because this might take a while.
It might.
As a cliffhanger.
Yes.
It's definitely a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
You run into a mind flare and an intellect devourer.
Yeah.
Well, John's not
Also-
too afraid of
also-
the intellect
also-
tower.
Also,
Is that what they are? I
mage.
thought it was a squid head and a brain frog.
Oh, this is definitely an octopus man. And I have fought
brain
those
with
before.
legs. Yes, of course you did.
Okay. Yeah, so let's end the session here on a cliffhanger. And we'll pick this back up next week.
Dun dun dun!
So I'm gonna go ahead. So let's sign off and say thank you everyone for joining us on today's episode, and we'll see you next time on D&D.
Thank you.
Where we all die. Or at least I will.
Hello everyone, this is Chase. You are listening to the Words and Wands D&D show, and if you would like to listen to more, please like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much for listening, and see you next time.